Welcome back to Living Local. Today we're taking a look at modifiable risk factors of dementia. And here to talk to us all about it is Taylor Parker, Regional Vice President of Concept by Iowa Hearing, which is also this segment's sponsor. How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Hey, so let's break this down into three categories.
Yep.
And let's start with those under 45. What should someone be doing or not be doing?
Yeah, this one is pretty simple. It's just having good, proper education. You know, they talk about knowledge is power. So, you know, just having good, proper education can help with that because it's early formative years. Under the age of 45, we're still forming, you know, up to 45.
Yeah.
But it's just having that knowledge. You know, and they talk about hand-eye coordination, such as doing piano. They even talk about like Sudoku and some of those other things. So it's just keeping that brain very active is really the most important thing you can do under the age of 45. So, you know, good education. And then we move on to that next phase, which is 45 to 65.
Yeah, let's talk about midlife is what they...
That's right, midlife.
So
I'm still in that. I'm still in that range, so I feel good about that.
Close, man.
But so we're talking about obesity, alcohol consumption, high blood pressure, brain injury, and you'll notice between 45 and 65, what is that first one? Hearing loss.
Yeah, hearing loss.
Because most people, we want to put it over here. We want to put that as my later in life. That I'll do it when I get older. You know, I do okay. I get by now. I do okay. I want to put it off because I'm not quite ready yet. And everybody has their own definition of when older is. But you'll notice here that the thing to do is 45 to 65.
Yeah.
And out of this, what do you think is the number one? Out of 45 to 65, what the number one is out of those five?
I'm not sure because I think all of them, I'm worried about all of them.
Correct. They're all important, but the number one thing you can do out of all of those five is actually treat your hearing loss.
Yeah. Okay.
So between the age of 45 to 65, the number one thing you can do as a modifiable risk factor is actually treat your hearing loss. So it's something that you can't put off. And it just goes back to what we've talked about many times with dementia and cognitive decline and brain shrinkage and all those things.
Yeah.
If you're not getting the signal to the brain's dying.
Right.
And that's really how you have to look at it, is if it's not getting what the nutrients it needs, such as you know, understanding the signal that's coming from the cochlea to the brain just shrinks. The brain is just not getting that information and just starts to die and it starts to shrink. So really understanding that treating your hearing loss earlier is the best thing you can do. You can't put it off. You can't wait because we know what happens.
Yeah, and it's always one of those things too, man. I think a lot about it, and I know we've talked about this before, about, you know, what are the little signs that people should be looking out for, because sometimes I'm like, I'm losing my hearing, and then something's like, no, it's just quiet.
Yeah, and you know, you start to become cognizant of those things, because, you know, I've been in this business for, you know, 24 years now. I constantly am thinking, all right, can I hear that? Can I hear, like, you know, and I get my hearing tested a lot. It's just, but I'm very aware of it because I know these things and I see all the things that go on, and I see people that come in, and you know, I've seen people that, you know, we've seen them for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, and you see the changes in their life. You see the changes that happen. So, you know, I'm very aware of it. I'm very in tune to these things. But, you know, understanding that if you turn the radio up, you turn the TV up, if you're looking for volume, but it's not really because you want it louder. You're really looking for clarity. Sure. But so that volume, you feel like it helps. You ask people to repeat. You know, you feel like they mumble. They mumble more now than they did 4 and 5 years ago. You get into, you know, group situations and you start to struggle. That it's just, you know, one-on-one you can do okay, but the more we add to the environment, the harder it gets. Those are the little things that you kind of want to look for. And if you have a lot of those things, then it's probably something you need to really get checked. If it's, you know, one thing where maybe you just turn the volume just a hair more than you used to, you know, may not quite be the sign. But if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, when I go to a restaurant I struggle, or I get into a small group I struggle, and I really like the volume, I need someone to repeat, I feel like people mumble, like, those, like, if we're putting all these things together, it's probably one of those things.
But it's a vicious cycle, man. As you turn that volume up, and then it like can cause damage. You know, it's one of those things.
It is. It's one of those things.
Well, let's talk about late life, as my daughter would say. That's where I am at.
Anybody over the age, you know, under the age of 18 thinks anything over 30 is old.
But let's talk about those, man. Yeah, I know, right? It's like I'm only 40. Relax.
Yeah, you're young. You're good. So smoking, depression, social isolation. Now, depression and social isolation. About a year ago, that study came out that depression and social isolation, the effect it has on your body is the equivalent of smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
Wow.
So there's real impact there, and there's a lot of with with untreated hearing loss, you tend to become socially isolated.
Right.
Because you don't hear as well, and instead of doing something about it, you just start to withdraw. You start to pull back because you don't enjoy those events.
Right.
So you stop going. You stop doing those things, and next thing you know, you're spending more time alone or away from a group and interaction. So, you know, it's one of those things where those two are very tied, but they have serious impacts on our life.
I'm sure you saw those spikes during the pandemic too. When, you know,
huge.
You were
between masks, the shields, you know, all the things. It really played a toll on, you know, people that had hearing loss because they were told to stay home.
Right.
The only interaction they had was, you know, what was on TV.
Right.
If they had FaceTime calls with family, other than that, there was very little interaction for them, or if they had someone at home. And that was really about it. So they really, we saw that couple-year window where it really took a toll on individuals that, you know, that had untreated hearing loss. It was a big thing. And then air pollution and physical activity. And when we talk about air pollution, it's not just when you think about being in a city with, you know, smog and things like that.
Right.
Wood-burning stoves actually have a carcinogen that can actually damage our health as well.
Oh, interesting.
So it's one of those things where it's not what we, you know, think of just as a bigger picture.
Right.
You know, even have a wood-burning stove can cause those things as well.
Man.
So out of these 12 things, you actually have 12 things you actually have control of. You can control these. And when we talk about it can prevent or delay up to 40% of the cases. So we're not talking like a minimal number here. We're not talking like 2 or 3%. Prevent or delay up to 40% of the cases. So it's real.
Wow. Well, hey, man, thanks for coming in. I learn something new every day, baby.
Glad to be here.
Great. Again, this segment was sponsored by Concept by Iowa Hearing. For more information, go to iowahearing.com. We'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com.